Hey vinyl community, it's Friday morning, right before I go into work, and I'm going to do a quick vinyl update. Also, it's about the halfway point for my 150 subs contest. I'm going to do more prize updates, hopefully this weekend, and a big part of that is I'm going to disperse the prizes. The first prize winner will win something that I'm going to mention in the next video, and also will get their pick of any of the other prizes that I show. I just want to do more than one drawing, so it's basically just because the videos have been so good that I've gotten so far in response to the Wake Your Ears Up thread. They've just been fantastic, totally unexpected, different than I had imagined, in a good way, you know? So there's a couple more weeks to get those videos in. If you're a subscriber and you watch my videos, you know, don't worry about it. Just record a response, get one up here, and get a part of the conversation, the contest, and get a chance to win some cool booty. It's a win-win, really. So I have a few records. It's been a couple weeks since my last final update, a week and a half since I uploaded it, but a couple weeks, so this is just a few records I've come across. Bought this Tuesday, actually, when it came out. Phosphorescent, Muchacho. This is on Dead Oceans Records. Nice gatefold. Highly anticipated for me. Phosphorescent, his last record, Here's to Taking It Easy. His previous records, you know, cover of Willie Nelson songs, Pride, all just great inward, twangy, introspective records, and he's really just taken that sound and made it more grand, more polished, and more accessible on this release. And I just think it works. Next is the first album by China Crisis. Difficult shapes and passive rhythms. Some people think it's fun to entertain. This is the first album by China Crisis on 1982 Virgin Records. There's a difficult side and an entertainment side. And this band is just... I've been listening to their second album a lot lately. I have now their first 3 albums. And as far as synth pop goes, you know, I don't think that this sound, the way that this band recorded it, has aged badly at all. Good sounding stuff, and excellent songwriting, and that's the main appeal. Really funky, buoyant, bubbly. Even the ballads, though, have a great groove to them. Every time I play this at the record shop, somebody's moving while they're flipping through the records, and that's awesome. So their first album, not as maybe fully formed as their later ones. I only really like their first 3, but you know, it's still a great listen. This album doesn't really need much introduction. Van Halen, first album, Warner Brothers, 1978. I showed this in Shannon's contest video. That's just what you need sometimes. Travis in his videos mentions his Antique Mall honey hole, and back where I moved from, Greenville, North Carolina, there's an antique mall that I could call my honey hole. I could go there and fill in holes in my discography for good prices, and he always hooks me up too, the owner. He always gives me a couple bucks off. So the first one I picked up, I was looking for this because of my recent infatuation with Fleetwood Mac and Lindsey Buckingham. This is Lindsey Buckingham's first solo record, factory sealed for my protection. This is a promo copy, Asylum Records. And this is a pretty cool record. I just had no idea that Lindsey Buckingham was such a weird motherfucker. He's strange. This mad pop scientist, you know? Really am loving it. Nice gatefold. Also, I'm generally on the look for Bob Dylan albums, but I won't buy them if they're too much, and they usually are. But I found this, he had it for a good price, Blood on the Tracks. You know, again, not an album that I have much to say about other than it's fantastic, and I'm glad to have a good copy. Next album I've had lying behind the counter at work since probably last October. I let records sit there for a couple months before I finally decided to pick them up. Roy Ayers, Center of the World. Fred, Big Star 1000, showed this in a recent video, and he's right. It's a great record. And it's funny, I went back to Greenville and saw a bunch of old friends. You know, we've all kind of dispersed, and we had a sort of reunion this weekend, and you know, all my boys all of a sudden are getting into Roy Ayers at the same time. I'm not sure what's going on there. Just so you know, this is 1981 Polygram Records, and just funky, jazzy lusciousness. This is a good one. Next record, The 3 O'Clock, 16 Tambourines, Jangle Pop, psychedelic. This is definitely a Paisley Underground band. And look at these dudes. This is twee as it gets. It might be too much twee if you're trying to check it out. The vocals are very, very cute. I mean, but look at these guys. I mean, how could you expect any different? But my kind of thing, I saw it sell for 99 cents once, sometime late last year, and told myself I wasn't going to buy it unless I could get it for 99 cents. So, found it again for 99 cents, and for $1, this is just a fun record that I'll probably put on a couple times. Nothing mind-blowing there, though, just great pop smarts. Adam showed this in his last video, Beat Happening. I jumped on this when I heard they were reissuing it. I've done a K Records video before, shown all my Beat Happening 7 inches. I've been on the lookout for this for a while. This reissue that includes all the tracks from the cassette tapes and the 7 inches that came out, I think, originally in the 90s, has been out of print for a while. It goes for about $25 to $50 or so online. So as soon as I saw it was reissued for $15 with free media mail shipping, the light is just too bright to show these labels sometimes. And they're reissuing the entire line of Beat Happening records. The original of this with just... This reissue has like 23 tracks. You know, it's got the first 45, the 3T Breakfast cassette, Let's Together, Let's Kiss, and Let's See cassettes, which I've shown in my K Records video. The original does not have that many songs. It only has a handful of songs. And that copy goes for, I've seen it go for 100. This is all I really need, though. Very pleased to see it's being reissued. Last, this is actually pretty cool. This is a sort of unexpected find. Send Me Away early demos. This is like a screen printed cover. It's a bootleg. Definitely a bootleg. Discogs says there were only 500 made, but I've seen this around, and I think there's maybe 500 made of each pressing, but it's around. There's more than 500. There's gotta be. I don't know. Just stamped label and everything there. And these demos are actually really good. There's a couple that are just so lo-fi, but it has more to do with the pressing quality than it does the demo quality. But just a lot of the songs that would show up later that were more noisy, they kind of have a clarity here, surprisingly, for demos that they wouldn't have on Psycho Candy. And after kind of getting into Darklands, their second record, I like that side of the Jesus and Mary chain. You know, I like the dirty, noisy sound too, but it's not always what I'm trying to hear at any given moment. So this is totally enjoyable. If you can find this, you know, this wasn't very expensive. I got it for about $12, so happy to have it. And that about does it for the vinyl update. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll have a prize update soon for you. There's some cool stuff coming down the line. Later.